Good evening, manifestors. I've got a late night video today. This is about the infinite potential that is available to you through the words that come out of your mouth every day. So let's get into it. There is tremendous power um, in the words that you say. There is power in your thoughts and there's power in your actions as well, but a lot of people and a lot of people are talking about thoughts and actions, and words are often the missing link. People say things like yeah, you're all talk and no action, but there is an important part to words. Words can actually be more powerful than actions sometimes. This is the case in the situation where something is not under your control. When something is not under your control, sometimes the words you speak can still turn that thing around, because once you speak, the universe moves. So that's what we're going to get into today. So there's a couple things about how to make this work. There is a and there's I don't want to say hierarchy, but hierarchy is really the best word to describe it, of authority between the human world, the spiritual world. Um, the way that it works, and this is something that is talked about in like the Bible, maybe in other scriptures, is not universally understood. People have a lot of different interpretations of it, but the way that I understand it is that there is the infinite, the divine, the universe, God, who is the highest authority um, in the entire everything, like the highest authority that exists, who created everything that there is, seen and unseen. And so, in the story in the Bible, what God did was He created the earth by speaking, created the entire universe just by speaking words out of His mouth. It was like God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. What happened then was that there became light, there became darkness. So there was good and evil in the universe. And what happened was that the earth had been taken over by the evil. Actually, it was like Satan was cast to the earth. I don't actually understand like how that part happened, so I'm not trying to get into it. But what happened when God created the human beings on the earth, like He had to give them a choice. That's why He said you can eat like any of the trees, but not the tree in the middle of the garden. He had to give them a choice to basically to choose to stay in the God reality or to have the knowledge of good and evil. Because there's a knowledge of good and evil. Before there was a knowledge of good and evil, there was only good. So I don't know. Tell me if like my explanation makes sense. It may or may not. But so we know what happened. Like the humans decided to eat the apple and to have this world of duality, live in the world with the knowledge of good and evil. But what happens then is that they went under the authority of evil, essentially. So before eating the apple, there was only good. Humans were made in the image of God. They were walking under God's authority. But after eating the apple, we welcomed evil. We were like, come in, evil, and be our friend. But evil was not our friend. The world got cursed. The animals started killing each other. Everyone's trying to kill humans. This is the way that it was written down, like thousands and thousands of years ago. Um, so take that for what it is. But it explains this in a way that kind of makes sense. So what I was trying to get to with that long explanation is that there is the divine as the highest authority, and when a human being is aligned with divine, you are on that level of the highest authority. Then below that is the evil, like the evil one, Satan, the essentially evil, the power of evil is below the authority of God, and is below the authority of a human being who's aligned with God. But when a human being aligns with evil, then you're underneath the control of the evil cosmic force. I guess that's the way that I would explain it. So when you are in proper alignment and agreement, it's agreement and alignment. When you agree with God, you're in God's authority and you have power over evil. So that's where it comes into play for manifesting. When you are in agreement with the divine, you can literally ask for anything you want and you will receive it. It's ask and you will receive. When you're in alignment with evil, usually when you're in alignment with evil, you're not trying to ask and receive, you're trying to take. So that's kind of how that goes. So we know that there is a almost universal code of conduct, universal moral laws that every society believes in. Like, you don't murder, you don't commit adultery, you don't steal. These are all like basic and universal things, because the understanding is that the universe is abundantly, infinitely abundant. Everything that you want, you can get. You can like ask the universe, you can get it. So why would you ever need to steal something from someone? If you want to be with someone, you can ask the universe and get someone. You don't need to take someone else's wife, someone else's husband. You don't need to do that. So when you are standing in your power as a human being, you're walking as a child of God, you are able to manifest anything. You're able to receive anything good that you speak. And when you do that, I'm like having trouble getting through my notes. When you do that, it really is, it's almost like limited by your capacity to believe and your capacity to see things. If I did not see myself as being able to graduate from college, it'd be very difficult to have done that. But when you can see yourself doing it, that's when you're able to receive it. So I don't see myself being a millionaire right now, so I'm not one, but that can change. Anything can change. You want to have faith that what you say will come to pass. And when you have faith, you really say, and I did this last night, it was ridiculous. So I was driving, went to the gym, and when I left the gym, I noticed my headlights were on in my car, and they wouldn't turn off, because I had turned off the car, and like the headlights were not turned on. They were just on without being turned on. And I was like, what the heck? So this is what I did. This is so ridiculous. I got into my car. I was like messing around with it. I'd like turn the headlight, see what happened. Like it stayed on. And so I just drove home and I was like, okay, like headlights, like you gotta like turn off when I turn off this car. I said, in Jesus' name, I said it. And I turned off the car and the headlights went off. So that kind of thing, like I believed that it would be done. That doesn't make any sense. Like you can't talk to your car and have it do what you say, but you can. You can do it. Your command goes out into spiritual reality, and I do not know why my headlights turned off, but they did. I don't know why they stayed on, but that's maybe it was so I could tell you guys about it today. So basically, once you speak, spiritual forces of the universe move to carry out what you spoke. Pastor of my church says that we are kings and queens rule by decreeing and by, like, you speak the words and someone else carries them out. If you make the law, there's other people, there's a whole hierarchy, there's an army, there's a police, there's all these people that are put in place. There's like judges and courts of law that will carry out the law that you make as a king. So that is how we are to function when manifesting, when speaking realities into being. So on that note, it's the difference between like praying for something, and I'm trying to explain the way the difference works. So it's like when you're praying for something, like you're asking God for permission to have the thing. It doesn't really work because all things are yours. Um, so what I do is like I will pray and ask God when I don't know what I'm supposed to be asking for, or if I want something to happen, but I don't know if that's something that I can have. I ate chicky wings here. Hey, baby. All right. So praying would be for really like finding out, getting wisdom, finding out what, um, like finding out whether the thing that I'm asking for is something that I should be asking for, something like that. Um, or to ask for what is my next step on a manifestation that I've been working on, which there's a big one that I'm working on, which I'll semi get into. Um, so that's different from just speaking to the problem. So if I wanted to pay my mortgage off, I'd speak to the mortgage and I'd say, like, be paid off, like, mortgage be paid off, miraculously dematerialize and disappear. Um, Again, like that's something that's like some people at my church have done it and it's happened. I have been doing it half-heartedly. I don't know if I'm putting enough faith into that. I'm focused on other things right now, but that is what you can do. So I could speak to the problem. If I had a health problem, I could say, like, I'm trying to think of one that I actually have going on. Um, like, I don't know, cat allergy go away. I'll let you know once my cat allergy goes away. I will update. Um, but anyway, so when you are speaking positive, positive things, you're speaking positive things or things that are supported by universal law. Angels will move to bring that thing into being. Now, if you're going to speak something negative, then what happens is demons move and they'll be happy to like bring you under the oppression of evil and make bad things happen for you. So that's actually something that I used to be really good at. I've had to really learn to watch my mouth. Um, when I was a kid, they'd say, watch your language because I said bad words. But there's worse things you can do with your mouth than saying a 4-letter word. Like if you say something like nothing good ever happens to me, like that is like you're murdering your potential when you do that. They say the power of life and death is in the tongue. If you are someone who's in the habit of complaining or like talking about how life is never fair to you and things never work out the way you want them to, do everything you can to like turn that around and say like things have never worked out for me before, but from now on this is a new world and a new life and everything's going to work out for me. I would do that. So if you're speaking good, if you're speaking positive, the forces of good will put that into being for you. If you're speaking negative, the forces of evil will be happy to do evil to you, and we're not trying to do that. If you're speaking good one day and evil the next day, your words cancel themselves and nothing happens. So that's why they say like a double-minded man receives nothing from the Lord. Like if you're saying like I am wealthy, powerful person one day and then the next day nothing ever good happens to me, then like the universe is confused. Like nothing's going to happen. So on that note, I believe something's happening. So I live in the United States. We had an election last month. I believe there's something going on with that. I believe there's something going on with that, but there's also something else going on with that, which is the part that I'm getting into with you guys today. So this, more than any other election that we've had, has been very, there's two political parties. They're extremely polarized. Like, we can't even talk to each other at this point, and my family's split between them, so that's fun. But it's like, you can't, literally there's no even agreed upon reality like between the two political parties. Like we do not see ourselves as living on the same planet. So that's the part that I'm trying to get into, because I believe that human beings in one country, and that's like not even taking the rest of the world into account. But human beings, we have more in common than what divides us. Every one of us wants to thrive and prosper. We want to love our families. We want to be in good health. And that is not something that the other political party can keep you from doing. I mean, it really looks like it is. It absolutely looks like the people on the other side are going to do everything to murder you. Like, it looks like that. But when you are living the life of manifesting, when you're living the life that is sourced from spiritual reality, then the people who you thought were your worst enemies, like, they're actually not your enemies. They don't have anything to do with you. They don't have any power over you whatsoever. Because what happens is, like, even if your governor of your state hates you, like, you still have, you go over his head. Like, you have the relationship with God, and you can just ask for whatever you want, and ask for your protection, your safety, your prosperity, your health, all those things. These things can be manifested. It's not, I say it's not easy, but it's simple, or it's not simple, but it's one of those. It's like it's actually easy, but it's not simple. Like, you don't automatically think about living that way, because when you look around, everyone around you is living in a different way. But what I'm saying is that we all have in common so much more than what divides us, and the things that you desire are not being kept from you by people that are like sitting on the other side of the fence. It is always in your power. And if it's not in your power, ask the universe to show you what is in your power. That is the bigger message, because I guess the main thing that I really like need to stay up late at night to share with you is that you do have power. You have so much power. That's what it, like, the words that you speak have so much power. If you knew how powerful they were, you would never say a negative word again. Like, if you knew what you were capable of doing with the words out of your mouth. Yeah, I haven't had the most massive results with this yet, but other people have, and I'm seeing it around me, and I'm seeing it in little ways. So that's why I'm like preemptively sharing this with you guys, and I want you to begin to just feel that and integrate it and really make it a part of your being, because, and that's the thing that I should have added in here. So what happens when you speak words out of your mouth and your own ears hear it, that begins to reprogram your mind. Like, in your mind, like, the thoughts that get planted in there, they're like seeds, and they will grow and grow and grow and grow. So you want to make sure that you're consciously planting good ones in there. And the most effective way to do that is to say something with your own mouth and let your own ears hear you say that. That's like so much more powerful than like just reading it or looking at. I mean, actually, visually seeing something with your eyes can be a big one too. Like putting up pictures of what the reality that you want. That helps too. But yes, do both of those things. But definitely, like, just the words out of your mouth are so powerful. So do not waste them. Don't ever waste your power by like cutting yourself down. It's one of the worst things you can do. So that is what I want to share with you guys today. Happy manifesting, happy weekend. It's the weekend. It's not the weekend, but I'm ready for the weekend. So happy manifesting. I love you guys, and good night.